All right, we're going to jump into Storm King's Thunder on a Monday night. This is the first of our new schedule where we're doing every other Monday night for Storm King's Thunder with our group. We're going to be jumping in pretty quick. So tonight is the team that is following Harshnag, so far dubbed Team Alpha, but I'm sure a appropriate name will happen to us sometime throughout the adventure. And I'm naming the other group Team Omega, who's going to be on Thursday. They're doing every other Thursdays. They also will probably come up with a better name at some point. On the Mondays, we're not streaming Storm King's Thunder. We will be streaming the new Dark Tides campaign, which you can start hearing about that coming up following our Twitter. Check out our YouTubes. I know PB just did a... she just did her stream on her character creation. I did mine. I recorded mine. I'm gonna upload it tonight. So you will see my character creation tomorrow on my YouTube page. I think Greybeard did his and didn't record any of it like a dummy.
Oh, I could go back.
Because it was all done like while he was sleeping in his dream.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the good thing. So if you show up to the channel every Monday night, you're still gonna get Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Tonight is Storm King's Thunder 5th edition. Next week is Dark Tides 5th edition. Then we come back around. We're Storm King's Thunder 5th edition, Dark Tides, and we go until we're all tired of D&D, which will probably never happen. Then Thursdays, it's going to switch off between Black Door Campaign, which is a homebrew of mine, 5th edition, and also Team Omega for Storm King's Thunder. But we're also going to intersperse in some of those Thursday nights, some one-shots, some one-offs with other YouTubers and other stuff. So there'll be plenty to go. In fact, keep an eye out for this month because I know Halloween there's probably going to be a one-shot game going on that people are interested in, and there's other stuff that's in the works for some of the holiday stream stuff. So, all right, let's jump in. Let me show you where our team is at. You're looking at our new splash screen. I like the idea that we're 2 groups, 1 adventure. I thought that might get... Or I actually was thinking we should... the hashtag we should switch to is hashtag split the party. I thought that would be catchy. And I think, I don't know... we can get a lot of grief for we're splitting our party, so it's going to be pretty good. But let's see where our group is at. I switched over the overlay a tiny bit, but I'm still working on some of it. I'll probably be redoing it as we go because now we have the 2 teams, and I want to make them a little more distinct. But we should be able to see that our players have left off at Zymorvan Hall. So if you missed last week, you can check out the VOD in Twitch, or you can go ahead and go to YouTube and check out my YouTube video of it and see that the group had brought back the inhabitants of Zymorvan Hall. Those people are going to begin to rebuild. There is a contingent from Silvery Moon here to help protect. It's a group of 50 knights and 50 soldiers. The group has talked with Harshnag and have agreed that to cover more ground, they're going to split up some to try to accomplish some things. So the one team is going to be led by Harshnag up to the Eye of the Allfather, which is something we learned about last week, which is an oracle created by the giants in the kingdom of Astoria, which is the giant kingdom, the ancient giant kingdom that is now gone. But this oracle still survives, and Harshnag happens to know roughly where it is. And they're going to use that to get more information about this ordning and what is really going on. As they keep, everywhere they go, they seem to run into more and more giant groups, giant parties, giant raiding groups, or, you know, with all kinds of nefarious plans, and when they're trying to get a handle on what's going on. And then the second group is going to head to the Star Metal Hills, and they're going to be able to accomplish getting an artifact that's going to help with hopefully defeating these giants that need defeating. So there's some things there that Harshnag thought they could use equipment-wise that would help with their quest to kind of solve this ordning problem. And they're going to go and try to get some of that so that when a big battle comes up, they've got the tools necessary to deal with it. And that other group probably can handle some of the other side quest stuff that the group had still had. They might be able to head up to Xanthar's Keep, They could go back down to Tribor and check in. I mean, they can do a whole bunch of things to allow the other group to still kind of track down what's going on with the Ordning. So they're going to be able to cover a lot more ground. And so, yeah, they've split the party, which their DM made them do it, so you don't have to blame the players. But it was a DM-forced party split. All right, they do have, remember that each of you have a kind of an amplified sending stone that allows you to talk over great distances. Basically, there's some runes carved on these white stones. There's one command word that tells the other stone that you want communication, so it kind of just buzzes or just kind of vibrates a little bit so that whoever's holding that stone knows somebody's trying to communicate them from the other stone. And then there's a command word to go ahead and begin to talk. These things aren't necessarily quiet when you tried them out. Just, they work whether they're standing next to each other or you're standing 255 miles away. But it's a pretty loud thing too. It's not something that's very quiet. So keep that in mind. And as far as you know, it doesn't run out of power, doesn't have any limitation. It'll allow you to keep in contact. And this was given to them by their Harper contact, Gavrin, I believe is his name. Can I write that down again? I always have to go. Yeah, Glavrin. Glavrin Bitterbow is their Harper contact from Silvery Moon, who's offered them this piece of equipment. So, all right. So we're going to skip to the next morning in Zymorvan Hall. The humans have been saved. They're in the camp being fed clean clothes and being taken care of. Our group is preparing to get on the move. Winter is coming, so the quicker you guys can get north, probably the better. Harshnag seems to be pretty anxious to get moving, and is kind of nudging you guys along, but allowing you a chance to say your goodbyes to the other team, which we can just say happened at this point, and then you guys can go ahead and hit the road unless there was anything that you want to do before leaving Zymorvan Hall. If there was anything more you want to ask Harshnag before you got going, I think that's how we could open up tonight's session as you prepare to head to the Eye of the Allfather.
Try to refill our food supply.
Yeah, the Zymorvan Hall would, and the troops would be able to give you whatever provisions you feel you can carry.
Okay.
So whatever you want to ask them for, they're willing to provide.
Okay. I just fill us back up to, I have it in the notes here, how many meals.
Yeah, I think on most campaigns, I would have been having you guys keep track a little bit more, except PB's Ranger has the ability to feed all of you all the time. So it kind of, since she's been in the group, it's kind of been a moot point. So I haven't really worried about it. I might with the other group, since they won't have PB, I may have them track rations and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. So, but you can have as many you want. You can write down as many as you wish. As far as magic item dividing up, I assume everybody has the things they want, and there's not going to be any shuffling of items from one person to another, or not that you guys talked with the other group about that.
I don't think we had anything that was just floating around except those bracers of Windwall thing.
Yeah, and I think Greybeard has all my arrows, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Then as long as we split the gold, I think... Did we have any?
The only thing I could think of that you might be thinking about would have been the Golden Lions. You have two figurines of wondrous power.
Ardrith had one.
And I had the other, I think.
And I was trying to think of anything else. You gave the sword back that you had, which was the animated sword, so that went back. Was there anything else?
Don't we have a ring of protection?
Oh, that's right. I think we gave that to Jarl, though, right?
Oh, Finn's wearing that.
Oh, Finn has it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It got moved around. I think Jarl had it, but then it moved to Finn at some point. Because Jarl left, I think.
Mm-hmm.
but
I
don't
don't
know
trust
if
that one.
Coffee has his sword. The thought would never even cross his mind to give it away.
Never.
It wouldn't even come into his into his brain.
It never leaves my side. I sleep with it.
Yeah. So okay, well, something to think about. Maybe even out of game and chat, you guys can talk with the other group. We can always retroactive it if we need to do a quick item swap with that group to get them all set. But we'll pretend that that's all happened. It's all in the past. You guys are waking up, having breakfast with Harshnag. You have your rations. You have your anything else that you're going to want for the road. And you're ready to leave whenever you tell me your group's ready to leave.
6 a.m. Let's head out.
Okay.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
You are provided horses if you didn't have them. The Zymorvan, the contingent of knights had extra horses that they had brought, and Knight Captain Winrow, realizing what you guys are doing and bringing back the Lord Zymorvan, has offered you to, if you needed horses, they're willing to give you those if you need them. So I didn't know if you guys needed any at this point. So anything else? As a light dusting of snow falls early in the morning.
Yeah, we head out. Where are we going? What are we doing?
We're to the spine of the world.
Yeah, so Harshnag takes a look at you, and probably there's a map out on like a table inside the big meeting tent that they've set up. It's basically a command tent that the Silvery Moon guard use, but they have been letting you use it while you're having your meetings and such. So inside there's a big table, and on the table is a map that we kind of pretty much see here. Harshnag has indicated that you're going to be heading up near the valley of Kidron. So he kind of pings or places there's like chess pieces and things around, and he places a king up near Valley of Kidron, which is a part of the spine of the World Mountains.
Okay. I do my best to commit the thing to memory, the map to memory.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're actually probably with just maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes, Jarl would be able to make you a copy of this area on parchment, and maybe you guys would have that. Harshnag's is familiar with the area. He doesn't have a map himself, but he's familiar with this area. He really says, while you're sitting there, there's 2 routes that we can go. Probably safest is through the south, up through the Lurkwood. The only thing we're going to run into the Lurkwood is going to be Uthgard tribes, goblins, some orcs. Not too much else is in the Lurkwood. If we head up north through the Frost Hills and the Fell Pass, we're going to run into orcs, goblins, gnolls, more giant tribes, and more Uthgard barbarians. This whole area up in the north, Lurkwood, Frost Hills, Moonwood, is all prime territory for several large Uthgard wandering tribes. So there's lots of those barbarians heading around. But you can go either way. Harshnag kind of mentions if we don't stop, we're not delayed in any way, it's probably about a 12-day journey to where we're going. And he mentions with the other group in the room also, so Jarl's there, Ardrith's there, Spammy's there, Edrum. And he mentions, too, that he points out the Star Metal Hills, which you guys can see is over near Long Saddle. And he mentions that they, too, from Zymorvan Hall, that's probably, if they're not delayed, about a 12-day journey also. So you're both about the same amount of time to your destination.
I would politely suggest to them that they just travel to Silvery Moon and teleport, take one of the circles.
Yeah, I think it ends up being the same amount of time because you can only get to. You've got to go to Everlund to get to the circle, and then the circle will take you to Mirabar. Or let's bring up our map. Neverwinter. So here's the circles. So Everlund, Yarder, Mirabar, Neverwinter, Waterdeep, or Loudwater. So it actually would be out of your way for the circle.
We're over in Zamorvan Hall right now.
Yeah.
They should take the Raven River down.
Oh yeah,
Because I would love to see them wet
miserable.
on a raft for about a month.
That's...
Yeah, they give you that pointed stare look of like,
Yeah.
we'll do that. You have fun in the snow in the north.
Bye-bye.
Bring mittens. And they're like, bring earmuffs. Other than that, Harshnag has eaten his breakfast. He's about done. He's waiting around in case there's any other questions you guys have, or he's ready. He's got his pack and everything ready to go. He's got his axe. And he's waiting on you.
Last one to the Subrin River is a rotten egg. I say we go Frosthill.
We could go through the forest and not have any difficulty with the terrain.
Again. How many times must we argue over this? Should we travel back to Silvery Moon?
You're such a... Oh, Tigray. The forest, it is much faster. It is a direct route.
Does anybody know anything about Shining White?
You can make some checks. Make some history checks. See if you guys have been there. If any of you have traveled through there.
The Shining White? What's that?
It's on the map. It's just directly
It-
west of Rivermoot.
Yeah, it's south of
Oh,
Woodward.
that I see.
I mean, could we go straight west and not even go through the Mirkwood till we got to the Long Road?
Well, he's pointed out. Let me put a mark kind of where you guys are going.
Yeah, that might be
Guess freehand.
telling.
So he's going to bring you guys here-ish. You guys see a blue dot up in the valley of Kidron?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, then the Frosthills are obviously where we should go through.
Yeah, either way, actually, if you go, it's about 212, but you're gonna have to go around that mountain where Mithril Hall is. So you're gonna add in a few days. So it ends up being 250 if you go down under, or it's 250 you go up and around. So it's really the same. The difference is, and he shrugs. The difference is who we might meet on our way as he's talking to you.
Well, neither road is terribly dangerous, right?
I'm sure they're both horrifically dangerous. But I'm
He
going to
did
vote
say-
Lurkwood.
Greybeard.
What?
Giants or goblin?
Oh, Well, popping squeakers is indeed fun. But more giants we take out is a better idea.
But Greybeard, there's
agree.
less fire in the woods.
Is there fire in the woods?
There's no fire in the woods.
Greybeard loves fire.
No, I don't love fire.
And Ian and Coffee, you've heard, you haven't been to Shining White. You've been near that area, and while you were there, you were directed to kind of skirt it because it is one of the main. It's one of the main camps of an Uthgard barbarian tribe, and it is the Griffin tribe. That's kind of their home base. It's one of their ancient sites that they go back for festivals and rituals, and they guard it pretty pretty intensively. They try to keep outsiders out. You probably have skirted around it and skirted around their patrols, and so know of it, but have never been to it.
And that's the Lurkwood?
That's the shining white that you see on the map.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Harshnag knows about it too. Yeah, he would guide you guys away from at least being. I mean, you could go within 10 miles and you'd probably be able to evade their. But you wouldn't want to go straight to it unless you needed something there.
So.
Well, I think going over to Rivermoot, skirting the mountain, going up north through the Lurkwood would definitely be the fastest if we have PB with us, or if Ian's going to guide us. Versus the hills, we get nothing there, right? Other than trouble.
Yeah.
Fine.
And actually, in mountain range PB, do you get that same benefit to the group?
No, I didn't take it as my favorite.
So you
terrain.
might actually travel slightly slower in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Now she tells us.
Well, I know one thing. We're not getting there standing around. And Greybeard just starts walking.
I start riding and point Greybeard to his pony.
Oh.
Harshnag lets out a giant laugh and begins to stride.
And I whistle for Bloodlust Mayhem, and I get on the pony and then catch up to the rest of the party.
I want a cool name like Bloodlust Mayhem.
Does he say that looking over his shoulder at you, Finn?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, so it's about a 2-day journey to Rivermoot. Staying along the road, it's pretty uneventful. Just that day, the first day you had a light dusting, but then it kind of clears out, disappears. But you can tell winter's coming. You're definitely in the end of fall, heading into the winter season. I'm not sure if you guys have picked up any type of winter gear as far as things to keep you warm while in the mountains. Staying down here near the swamp area, it's going to stay not too bad. It just frosts mostly. Sometimes it'll snow, not too much. But once you get north of Lurkwood, it's going to be real snow and real colds. You might want to then, so keep that in mind.
Is Rivermoot a town or village that we might procure that kind of stuff?
So it's a small village, stands on the west end of the Ralvin Road. As you guys kind of approach it, it's kind of sits right where the Ralvin and the Subrin rivers meet, and you can tell that all of the dwellings are like wood frame dwellings that are built on stilts. They built Rivermoot, which you can tell is built in this kind of river delta area, and you can tell that these rivers swell after during the spring and summer. When the ice melt comes down off of the frost hills and kind of engorges the different rivers here, that they will use boats and they will use raised platforms to move around within this village. So it's kind of like a village that sits in, I'm trying to think of like another example, but houses on stilts, and there's
Lake Town?
Yeah, definitely like a lake town kind of at times. Right now it's not that way. It's all dry. We're not in the spring or in the summer, but in the spring is when the heavy flooding happens. So you guys come up on the village. Typical village. They're farmers. They're fishers. You see lots of canoes that are tethered to the different cottages and houses so that they can move around on the river. They do a lot of trade on the river. They do a lot of. It seems like everything they're doing involves the river. So whatever, small amount of trade that's going back towards like Silvery Moon or heading south is all done along the river. Seems to be, as you guys are approaching, seems to be pretty normal. I'm assuming. How are we doing this as far as your new marching order and who's scouting ahead, or is there anybody scouting ahead? Or are you guys just traveling along the road? I mean, you do have Harshnag with you.
Yeah.
I do.
I would assume Ian's out front, and the rest of us are in the.
Okay. Yeah. So Ian, yeah. So
van.
you're probably the first one that spies the village, and it appears to you as normal. You see people moving around. You see children playing. You see people going about their work. You get there, day 2. Yeah, it's probably towards evening, as things are starting to quiet down. You start to see lanterns being lit on certain walkways or outside certain houses or small inns. It doesn't look to be like a very big village as you approach. Or as you see it. You're probably... you see the light of it probably a half mile before you actually get to it.
Just as long as it's big enough to buy furs in or heavy wool cloaks.
Agreed. So we ride.
Right in? Yeah. So there's a few merchants that you find out about. There's an inn if you want to stay at the inn. Yeah, there'd be merchants that they get a lot of like beaver pelt and some of the other types of hunting they do around here make for good furs. So you're able to acquire basically just the kind of furs that you throw over yourself more than, like fitted fur clothes or anything like that. But it would definitely help with insulation and the cold. Most of that stuff is probably just going to be, buying furs is going to be probably 2 silver for a big, fur, depending on what size you want. If it's the size of like an elk or something, maybe 4 silver. If it's the size of a beaver, it's maybe 2 silver. So you can get as many furs as you'd like.
Coffee wants all white fur.
Nod looks at you all in horror.
I want lion
Those
skin. Do you have
are
lion
skins. You bastards.
I try to find a rabbit skin. What are they? The Ashanka, the Russian hat with ear flaps.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, also you notice that Harshnag walks into town here at Rivermoot, and it appears that he's been here many times before, as they see him and they know him, and it's not like everybody runs around in panic or anything. He's been through here before, and he's recognized. So Harshnag is with you here in Rivermoot. So yeah, you can buy as many furs as you want. There's an inn if you want to stay for the night. 2 silver for a room. They feed you. They give you food if you get a room for the night. They'll give you dinner.
Sounds good.
And all the people seem pretty... It's a village that seems a little insular. They keep to themselves. You see a few of them talk to Harshnag a little bit. They're a little wary of strangers, so you don't see a lot of them going out of their way to talk to you too much. But it's not like, they're just kind of keeping to themselves or letting you keep to yourselves. They're as you sit down to have dinner after you buy your furs and the evening goes on. Everybody good?
Yep.
Yep.
Jotting down the loss of loot and the gaining of materials.
I'm doing good on arrows, right, Greybeard?
Yeah, somewhere in the ballpark of 135.
Okay. All right.
Finn will sing in the tavern at night.
Yeah, you see, even after, in the middle of your first song and then in between, how many songs you do, you notice that the villagers kind of warm up to you a little bit more. They're a little bit more friendlier, or at least more willing to talk with you, or at least exchange pleasant conversation. They kind of still... You see side glances towards the dwarf and towards the other 2 elves. But they kind of leave them alone at this point.
I share in those side glances. And, yeah.
Okay.
I oil my sword.
Nice. All right. So the evening passes uneventfully. You guys wake up in the morning. They offer to take you across the river. So they have some boats that'll be able to bring you across the river, and they've got a large enough kind of, it's more like a flat raft that they can bring the horses over 2 at a time. Harshnag kind of just clears the river and makes his way across, and you guys are on the other side of the river. You begin to skirt kind of the lower frost hills for several days. Again, you let's talk about, like, as you're going, what type of campsites are you looking for, PB, when you want to stop for the evening? You know, what are the things that you're looking for, you keep your eye out for as you travel to say, okay, this is a good place for us to stop?
Preferably something where we can see around, see everything, but have something to our back. So at least have some cover, maybe some trees, shrubbery, anything. So at first glance, maybe you won't notice us.
Okay.
And that's just in the plains, right? We haven't reached the forest.
Yeah. You have the mountains to your north, and it's plains and hills, but you're kind of skirting that edge of the mountains and the plains.
Mm-hmm. And just a little bit off the road, not terribly off. Or what is the river? River road.
Yeah, it's a river there. Yeah.
River.
Yep. No, you're not seeing any road on this side of the river.
So yeah, just making sure
Okay.
we can see. We have a good vantage point, but maybe a little bit of cover.
Awesome.
I'm sure we're the only people stupid enough to attack a giant in camp, so hoping with Harshnag being here, we'll be pretty safe.
Yeah, and just so I have an idea, so typical camp is once you find a good spot, you settle in. Are you guys not lighting fires? Are you going to light a fire? What's your watch order? Just so I know as we go through these days. We don't have to go through all of them, but I want to kind of know.
I'd rather have a fire if it's cold.
Yeah, I
Makes sense.
think it would be irresponsible not to have one. We just make sure to keep it low.
Yeah, you dig that hole and build it low enough so that it doesn't shine out, but it can still be warm enough and cook on.
Yeah. And just sleep close to the fire. I mean, what else can you do when it's getting colder? And for sleep watch list, let's see, we all can see at night, right? Greybeard, you're muted, I think.
I don't know. Can Harshnag, does he have dark vision?
Giants do not.
I missed it. Sorry, guys. Dealing with house elves. What was the question?
Oh, it was just our watch order and how we slept.
When I think I was with Finn and Nod.
Well,
How
now you
many
have
do we
less
need?
people, so that's why we're
Oh.
working it out.
Yeah. How many rounds do we need? 4 throughout a night? So we all get 2 hours?
Yeah. I've got dark vision, so I guess I'll be in the middle of the night.
Are you
I mean,
actually
we've all
gonna stay
got dark
awake this
vision,
time?
right?
Are you
I think we
actually gonna
do.
Stay awake?
So
I'll take
maybe,
one.
yeah, I could say everyone but Harshnag at that point during the dark hours.
Mhm.
Yeah, Harshnag's willing to take maybe first watch as you guys are setting up camp, getting things ready before it's actually so dark that you can't see as much. But I mean,
I'll
you guys
take
only
the
have
last.
60 feet of dark vision, so it's not like you are going to be able to see that far, much further than him.
We all have elven ears.
That is true.
Well, the better parts of us, or better members of the group have elven ears.
And, well, my high dwarven perception, I'm probably the best guide we have.
Very useful.
Maybe Nod should stay up with me.
I don't think
Okay.
Nod is asleep. I'll take last watch.
I'll
Okay.
take second.
All right, sweet.
Right in the middle for me.
All right, so I'll just write it down and we can make a thing for it. So Harsh is first. I heard coffee. second, Finn in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
E in the last. Was there any Greybeard or not?
Yeah, I thought I was in the darkest of night.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that is.
I'll put you after Finn then. Okay. There you go.
The witching hour.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you go through a couple of nights, and you're making camp. You're finding little copses of trees, or you're finding like a, kind of like a valley against a cliff of hills, or different spots that you feel like seem safe to you, PB, as we set camp. So a couple days will go by, and you don't see too much. On the third day, at the bottom of the Frost Hills here, you spot probably a couple miles up, but you happen to see a large band of orcs seem to be moving back up the hill. It's obvious that they don't see you, and they're probably a mile or two off. And since they're up on the actual mountain, some type of mountain trail that's leading, looks like they're going back further into the Frost Hills. It looks like maybe about 30-ish, although it's hard to count from that distance, and with them moving in and out. And they're heading northeast into the mountains.
So away from us.
Yeah. So you don't really, it's nothing that you even have to mention to the group, or you guys, I'm sure you kind of see it, and then you guys just kind of keep going. It's nothing, they're a ways away. Another couple days goes by, and the same thing kind of happens as you're getting closer to this river, the Subrin, and you see kind of way before they would even recognize you or see you guys, such a small group, you see a group of Uthgart that seems to be heading south along the river. And it's like a group of, say, 20, 25. It looks like they'd been hunting. It looks like they have like tied up different animals and stuff that they've obviously have captured, and then, are bringing back to wherever their camp might be. But they're heading south along the river. They don't see you as they head out. You're not close enough to see what tribe they are unless you want to get closer, or if you just want to let them go, that's up to you guys. Let them go by or whatever. They definitely don't see you.
I think we're in a hurry,
Mm-hmm.
or at least moving with a purpose. So why
Okay.
bother with a random fight like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
So you guys get to the river, and you find a ford. Actually, Harshnag is able to show you where a pretty easy ford is. You're able to just ride the horses across it. The river's actually, the banks of the river seem to be like the water is not as flooded. It seems like the actual level of the river is down slightly, so it makes the ford that he shows you pretty easy. And he's mentioning that he's going to bring you up. There's another one that you guys can get to just before you get into the Lurkwood, and he brings you up to that. So several more days go by, and you're just approaching the Lurkwood. So that's probably about at this point, you probably have traveled 4 days to get up into the Lurkwood. Now the Lurkwood, this is the southern verge. Basically, the southern end of the Lurkwood is safe enough to, you'll pass by woodcutters and trappers and hunters, or at least you'll see the tracks of them or the evidence of them. They will come up here to get some of that stuff. And usually they're from typically Mirabar or Xantharl's Keep, or even up from Long Saddle. They might travel up that far to hunt and acquire different types of resources and stuff and bring them back down. They have to deal with, you start to see tracks of other barbarian tribes. So you're seeing, traces of groups that have moved through these woods, been in this area. Probably not recently, but, there's definitely evidence that they have been around. Harshnag mentions to you that you're kind of entering in to the territory of either, he says, we'll either run into the Black Raven or Thunderbeasts, Uthgarts. But we need to keep an eye out. There's plenty of goblinoids, plenty of large wolves that use the Lurkwood as their hunting ground. It's still a dangerous place. But we should be able to make good time through here.
What was it? The Black Raven and the what?
The Black Raven and the Thunderbeast barbarians, or Uthgart, depending on what you call them.
Okay. Sweet.
All right, so you make your way through Lurkwood. I mean, several more days go by. Camp, you're able to hide your camp well. You skirt around a few more patrols of some barbarian groups. You're not getting close to them. You more hear them more than you see them, and you're able just to bypass them unless you want to go to them. Let me know if that's true. My assumption is you're bypassing them
For the sake of speed.
Yeah.
And it's up towards the top of the Lurkwood. You're kind of in. Let's move our marker, actually. So you guys have made good time. You're been in the Lurkwood for several days now. You've been able to avoid contact with just about anybody. And it's right about this area that, PB, you're up ahead, and you might be even a little further ahead of the group. Because you thought maybe you heard something, and then what you see kind of through a clearing as you get a little closer is you see 5 ogres who seem to be arguing with each other in kind of a clearing that's kind of along the path you've been going.
Can I understand what they're saying?
Yes. Let's see what language they talk. I think they talk just common and something else.
I thought ogres spoke giant.
Yeah, let's check.
Well, I know that one also, so.
Yeah, I think they're going to be arguing with each other in giant. I think they save common for when they're dealing with other groups. So it's just 5 of them, and you hear one of them, and there's a lot of talking, but it's also a lot of like physical punching in the arm or hitting each other, and you can tell that there's a heated argument going on, and one of them's like, "You got us lost again," and the other one's like, "It wasn't me," and he points at the other one, and then she gets mad and she hits him in the arm, and it just seems like they're arguing about where they are and that they're lost and they don't know which way to go.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh my gosh. I roll my eyes and I head back to the... I meet up with the group and I say... there's about 5 ogres up ahead and they seem to be lost. They're arguing with each other. So if we would like to just skirt around them, I would say that's the best plan. Be a little bit out of the way, but I mean, they don't seem to be bothering anyone.
Again, we have more pressing issues to the north.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you
Yeah.
say
So
That said, they are ogres.
They might have information.
I mean, would you...
How
You're
could
muted,
they be
Greybeard.
lost in a forest that they know well? They are outside of their territory. The question is why.
They're headed on their way to the fire giant army. Let's take them out.
I mean, do you want to parlay with these giants? With these ogres, sorry.
Is Charles here?
Harshnag.
Harshnag, yeah, chuckles a bit. It's a deep, low chuckle. And he says, our mission's important, but I have not swung my axe in days. And it just has kind of a smile.
Well, if
I mean,
Harshnag says it's okay, then it's probably okay.
yeah, I mean, let's go for it.
I'm all like, X bros, and tang.
Axe Bros. I'm gonna buy a little axe just so I can get on the Axe Bro.
a hand axe.
I'm not gonna use it, but I'm gonna bring it out just to do that.
Axe Bros. Let my map catch up. Hello, Mr. Map. Are you going to catch up to me?
Well, would you like to take a direct approach here?
Let me show you, because you'll be able to describe, I guess, if this map works, but it's not working. Oh, there it goes. There we go. All right, so let's pull off. Shoot. That's not a good map either.
Man,
Are we forcing you to design a random encounter?
No, I had something set up, but the thing's not working really well. But that's okay, because we're at 9:30, which is our first break, our first 5-minute break, and that'll give me time to get this thing working again. I don't know what it's doing. So let's take our first 5-minute break, and we'll come back. Everybody can use the restroom, fill up their waters, and then when we come back, I'll show you what you're seeing as far as these ogres, and you guys can decide what you want to do. If you want to attack or bypass them, or what you would like to do. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so let's jump back into the action. There we go. Minimize some of this stuff. All right, so if you guys can see the map, you can kind of see where you guys are at the bottom, or you can enter from the bottom wherever you want. I just placed your tokens there so you could see. And then up in a clearing are the ogres who are arguing amongst each other. Oh, we probably need a Harshnag token, don't we? All giants throw rocks. Oh, he's a named PC. Where's he at? Mr. Harshnag, where are you? There you are. So you can kind of see how they're arrayed. Yeah, you hear them just kind of, you know, talking amongst themselves, and they're like, you know, you got us lost. Go's gonna be mad. And then the other one's like, I don't care what Go wants. He's like, you do when he's around. And they keep going on, and they seem to, like, each one is pointing a different direction. They can't quite figure out where they want to go. And they have not seen you yet. You guys are approaching from the south of the map, heading north. What's everybody's current hit points at? Yeah, are they all set? None of that looks right to me. So, is everybody set? Wait. Are you using the red bar or? So you're at 52, right? Okay. So let's make sure. I think what I have to do is say players can see bar number 2. Greybeard. Yeah, I think it's bar number 2, and then it's supposed to be HP. Actually, red should be HP. Yellow would be AC, and then blue would be movement. That's how I do them. Actually, I think I have to. So I'm doing it now. There we go. AC. That one. Yeah, until you rage, or is that your normal? And then move. Nope. Run. Oh, that's right. It's speed. I forget what they call it. There it is. There we go. All right. Oh, and then, so you guys can make your plan while I'm setting up tokens. So that's what you see. And you want Harshnag to go which way? All right, so anybody that gets, I'm going to say randomly here, within 60 feet, if you want to move without being noticed, you'll need to do a stealth check. And I'll go against their passive. All right. Yeah, so you're able to skirt around. They have not seen you yet, Greybeard. Anybody else? All right. Yeah, Harshnag is staying pretty far back as not to alert them, but will come in. If he gets too much closer, they're going to hear him. Oh, there you go.
Lol.
Yep, I didn't uncheck one of the...
And that's why I said we're never doing that again.
That's right.
I can't believe Greybeard lost an arm, man.
That was the greatest joke ever told.
And
Ever.
we are
Greybeard.
never going to
It was really
speak of
good.
it again.
And he says it's a pineapple.
All right, so Harshnag is waiting in the back. If he moves any closer, he's going to alert him. You guys have surprise, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys one free round, and then we'll do initiative to see how this goes. So you get, at this point, they've not seen you. Everybody is far enough back. You can do one thing, one action.
Hey, I actually have cool things I can do now. I never get to use these. I get advantage on initiative, and during my first turn, I get advantage on attack rolls. Hell yeah.
Nice.
So
Is
yeah,
that like a
you can go in any
ranger
order
thing?
you want. You guys can, at this point, tell me what you want to do. One free action. So like a surprise round is not like a full turn. So you don't get like all your actions, reactions, and bonus actions. It's you get a free action, and then we're going to roll initiative.
Okay, I get to there behind that tree.
Okay. Yeah, they still have not seen you. Your stealth roll was awesome.
So we get a
So
free
there's your
attack.
action. Anybody else before we roll initiative? Anybody else?
Nod's going to get really close to the ground and start stalking up there with his butt high up in the air, wiggling. He's excited.
Yeah, he's got a great stealth. They're so concerned about talking with each other and punching each other a little bit here and there that they have not seen you guys at all as you approach.
Once I feel everyone is where they want to be or close enough that they can get in their next action to attack somebody.
Oh, and did anybody... Nobody's raged yet. Nobody's cast any spells. Did I hear anybody cast a spell?
I went Blade Song,
Then
and I'm
cast
casting Haste.
Okay, so there's definitely going to be... Blade Song goes for 10 rounds, right?
Correct.
And your haste is the same?
Yes.
Blade haste. We'll do a -1 counter. Add. And we started at 10. I think that will work. And then Shield of Faith. How long does that last? Do I have to track it, or is it long enough I don't have to track it?
10 minutes.
I don't have to track it. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Concentration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in mind. All right. So you guys have maneuvered.
And I
Cast
will
spells. Ian's going to fire. Okay.
I'm gonna fire. So I only get one.
Yeah, you get a bow shot. Or whatever you want to fire off. Yeah. One action.
Does that count extra attack? Can I do both of them?
No, you'll get one attack.
One attack. Okay.
And then we'll see how initiative goes for the rest.
Let's see. So I will. They are not humanoids. I don't get fancy stuff on them. So I will. Oh, I could have done Hunter's Mark. Doesn't matter. I will attack them. I will attack. Let's see. Let's attack Oh man, it would be so fun. I would like to attack this guy right here,
Okay.
assuming he's facing away from me.
Yep. He's kind of facing the other ogre who's talking. The one that's talking is this one up in the north part. Seems to be a little bigger than the other ones, and so they seem to be listening or disagreeing with that one.
But for comedic effect, I'm going to shoot him in the back.
Okay. You attempt to shoot said ogre. Oh yeah.
And yep.
So
For
9 piercing damage. Do you get any?
Fun stuff because I'm in the forest? No.
No, not yet.
Only good.
Not until all your other stuff kicks off. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, he this one lets out a roar. You realize it's a female ogre, and she quickly turns around, and as she roars, they all just kind of start looking in the woods, and everybody can go ahead and roll initiative, and I'm going to give them a minus to their initiative here.
All right, and I have an advantage. On
Which
my
actually, they already
initiative.
have a terrible chance, so I'm just going to let it roll.
4 for my first one. I'm assuming the second one is just going to be
So
better.
we're going to grab that, and we're going to do that. Yeah.
Slightly.
Slightly. Rip me. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, put me to an 8 when you get a chance.
Okay.
I had to get my token selected.
8 it is. And, oh, Harshnag. Let's do a him. Let's grab him. Harshnag, initiative. 14. All right, so we want descending order, which means our plucky barbarian hiding in the trees as he is a tavern brawler would do gets to go first. Initiative has been rolled.
All right.
Show us what the barbarian can do.
It's all about the bonus action, and then it's and the one that Ian shot, this female right here, total back of the knee attack.
Yeah. Do I have to track your rage? You only get it for 10 turns, or?
Only 10. Yep.
Oh, maybe I'll track it. We'll just put it up there. We'll call it Rage,
All right.
Rager. Max Rager.
Total max rager. Total max rager. All right. Here it comes.
10. Blade haste is a 10.
27 hit.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
15 slashing. Takes another strike. So she kind of tries to pick her foot up to get it out of the way as you've raked it across her shin. Big gash, blood bleeding out on the leg. She howls and kind of looks at you like, why you hit me? And, grabs her big club and is getting ready to try to do something to you.
And then, around to the other side of the same knee.
Okay. 14 is a hit. 14 more slashing damage. Nicely done.
And
yeah, now she has another gash on her other leg, and she starts yelling to the other ogres, "Get them! Why you let them hurt me?" And she kind of is trying to stumble away from you as she's just taken 2 big wounds to both of her legs, bleeding. Not gone down yet, but definitely hurting. Already pretty wounded.
And I do not frenzy, and I do not reckless attack.
Oh, and actually, let me put these guys in the right, in actual squares. That might help. I think when I set them, they weren't actually in. There we go. I'll put this guy right here, like that. There we go. Okay. Okay. Dwarf is done. Anything else for Greybeard? Okay.
Nope. Spent my bonus action to rage out.
Yeah, look at that rager. Look, it works. I don't even have to change it myself. So cool.
Nice.
That brings us to our Blade Dancer coffee. You were up.
All right. Coffee sprints over to here. And as he does, he brings out a small crystal from little belt patches, throws it up in the air, and strikes it with his blade, darting a lightning bolt that goes straight through that way, 100
Nice.
feet.
Nice. Booming lightning streaks past. So go ahead and put the spell information in the list so we can, everybody in chat can read it and I can read it. And we can see exactly. I'm sure they get maybe a dex save, I'm guessing.
Yeah, let's see, dex save. I gotta figure out how to.
Or I could look it up. What's the spell name?
It's lightning bolt. Let me see if this does it. No, hold on. I always forget how you make it go into. There's like a little button you have to do to make it go into.
There's one that's called spell card, and there's one that's called attack on the
It's in the
actual
card.
spell itself. And so if you
Got
check
it.
spell card, it's just the information. All right.
Oh, it
So-
still wants to cast it. Weird.
That's okay. So each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes your 8d6 on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Okay. So we need 3 dex saves against your spell DC.
Correct.
So we're going to start with the closest to, and then we'll go to the furthest back. So dex save. Do they have anything special for dex save? No, they don't. They just got regular. So first one. Oh, and actually, where's my toggle for roll queries? Just toggle. There we go. So that way I can roll normal dex save. So first one's an 11. Second one's an 11 and a 12. So they all missed. All right, so we can see you can roll your
Nice.
damage. As we see a lightning bolt.
There you go. Figured out how to do that,
Good
apparently.
job.
You got to actually hit submit what level you're casting it. Like, that's going to actually change the tech.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, what spell level were you casting it at?
Just it's third.
Third, yeah. All right, using up a third level spell slot, lightning bolt crashes through, hits, and it arcs from one to the other. So it just bounces from one to the next. 27 each. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
killer. Nicely done. They let out a roar. You see scorched skin on their kind of chubby bodies. They're muscled, but also have big guts. They look very angry at you.
Dad?
Yeah, dad bodies. Yeah, that's how we kind of describe them.
Why you body shame us? Bad elf.
Yeah. Yeah, why you hurt us? We're good ogres. Ogre good.
They got Harper pins on them.
Yeah. These are lawful good ogres. You guys are just wrecking them.
Oops. Shouldn't have taken that alignment thing out of the game.
And really, technically, yeah, you guys attacked first without even, so murder hobos. Let's continue. So that was your move
And my attack.
And your
So I'm
attack. Done. Okay. So moving along. Oh, I love it that Blade and Haste goes by itself. Ogres get to go. Ogres mad. Ogre smash. So they are looking around now. They're not super bright, but Lightning Bolt Ogre will move towards Coffee. Lightning Bolt Ogre moves towards Coffee. You see the southern one go, Kitty? Start moving hungry. Kind of moves down, so that'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
You don't want none of this, fat boy.
And he's like rubbing his belly as he's looking at Nod. He's just like licking his lips. He's like, Kitty? And this other one comes down and says, you know, hurt her. Gonna try to smash little man. Stunty. As we go. So let's see. So they get great clubs. They're not too terribly. So we'll start with Mr. Barbarian. Our female ogre swings her great club at you. For 24 AC versus AC, so she does 15 bludgeoning, halved because you are raged, I assume.
Yep.
Keeping that going. So you see this big, great, gnarly club, and actually it looks more like she's ripped a tree branch off of a tree, an old tree, some type of dead tree, and it crashes in kind of near you. You kind of dodge out of the way, but it still catches you on the side some. You ignore it, though, as your rage doesn't even really let you notice it too much. And then the male ogre next to her tries to, as you dodge to the left, he's going to try to hit you also, and his great club swings. He rolls an 18.
Yep.
But it's 9 bludgeoning damage. So again, as you're moving, you moved out of the full force of where the club was going and just took a glancing shot as your rage as it fueled your body movements and dodging around, duck, dip, dive, as our dwarf usually does. Moving to the north, our 2 lightning bolt, they've got big black marks on their chest from the lightning bolt that's ripped through them, and they're mad and angry. And one of them's like, elf tastes good. Eat elf tonight. Tries to swing at you with their great club. First one, the lower one, on Coffee. Rolls a 9. Just smashes the ground next to Coffee. Coffee makes a step and just completely misses. And then the other one tries to take advantage of you. And then an 11. It's just like 2 clubs smash into the ground, and Coffee's just too quick for him. Not even close. Doesn't even have to fend it off with his blades at all. That leaves Mr. Ogre trying to hit Finn. His intent is to hit Finn off of Nod. I don't think he's going to be able to do it because I think you have an ability that... Oh, well.
Super saddle.
Crit to Finn. That'll be 10 bludgeoning plus another 10 for the crit roll. Rolled really good. 20 hit points of damage. You have an ability that makes it so you can't be dismounted, right? And you have a saddle.
Yeah.
A magic saddle, right?
That's the ability.
Yeah. So he's trying to hit you off, and maybe because you can't be hit off, you take a tiny bit more damage than normal. But you're still on Nod as he lands a great club. And you guys see, you just see him, you see Finn kind of lunge back. He's been hit, but still is able to stay on Nod. That is their turn. They have no other bonus actions or anything like that, no other movements. They haven't even noticed Ian at all. Harshnag is up, who charges forward, and he can get... oh yeah, he can get right up to next to Finn. So he runs to Finn as he's seen Finn has taken a pretty good hit. Oh, there we go. So he makes it up to Finn. He makes a dash up to Finn. That'll put him there. Mr. Ogre, I believe you might have to... no, I don't see anything there. Nope. Yeah, Harshnag's dashing up once per day. Yeah, so he does not. That's weird. The fire giants have the charge thing that makes you guys make that dexterity check.
Trevor, yeah.
But I don't see it.
Thing.
I don't see it on Harshnag. I would have thought he would have had it. He's just the same size.
By the way, Lucien, normally we see your dice rolls and stuff. Is that something you're going to be doing now? Is keeping them to you?
Oh no, I think it was because of the change. So
okay.
No. I can switch that now that it's not my turn. I'll switch it back so you guys can see it. That brings us to Harshnag dashed, yells to Finn, "I've got him," and it's Finn's and Nod's turn, and I will fix my things here. I think I did it because I was doing some test rolls on some stuff I was setting up, and I didn't want you guys to see in chat all the like, oh look, he's setting up Sphere of Annihilation. Why is he doing that? So Finn and Nod are up.
Can I take... No, it's got to be an action to do it. Yeah, I can't disengage, so I'm going to attack. I can't disengage and get an attack in.
No. All right, yeah, 19
Two
is
from
a
the
hit,
Warhammers.
and a 21 is a hit.
And I will toss a smite in there.
Nice.
So
Now, does they get some type of save for the smite?
No, that is holy wrath, smashing down upon his knee.
There's no save?
Negative.
Crazy. All right, yeah, it takes brutal, 3 brutal hits.
Godly.
Yeah,
34.
Okay, yep. Warhammer crashes into shoulder. Second Warhammer smashes kind of hip area. He was kind of bent over from where he had tried to hit you, and then
Smashed me.
Yeah.
All right, so after the second knee shot hits, he can bend over to rub his knee a little bit, and then Nod's going to bite him in his face.
All right. So Nod lashes out. Yep, 23 is a hit. Horrifying chomp, in fact. For 5 more damage. So he's got wounds all over him, bleeding. Staggered slightly. Not down, but definitely hurting. You can see probably a broken bone in one of the shoulders. The knee seems to be working, but not as well. Big scorch mark from the radiant, and then you see the big ripped off flesh from the lion bite. Nicely done. You guys can put the damage out, that is for sure. All right. That brings us to Ian. You're in the tree, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So Ian is up.
Am I hidden?
You would have to roll your hide score. So stealth roll. Hide check.
Oh, an advantage. It's a 12.
Yeah, so you feel hidden?
Logistically.
You don't think any of them
gonna
are looking at you? You don't think any of them notice you?
Logistically, am I going to get advantage on this first hit?
Well, you got advantage on the very first one. So yeah, I guess... No, yeah, once you fired that first arrow, you were no longer hidden. So you would have to take an action to hide again.
Okay. Let's see. Have all of the ogres on the field taken damage?
Yes, everybody has taken massive damage in round number 1. Yep, they're hurting.
Okay. So I cast
Team Ogres not doing well.
I cast Hunter's Mark on this first guy.
Okay.
Or gal. And I let's see. The Hunter's Mark, longbow. Let's do this one. Am I just on normal attack? God damn it, I'm still on advantage. So that's a 19. That still hits. Right?
Yeah, 19. Arrow strikes true. 16 points. Nice.
Right.
Ogre staggers. Female ogre staggers. Almost goes to a knee. Looks like nearly ready to collapse from blood loss and wounds.
Alright, so I'll attack again.
Yeah, 22 sinks home. Oh!
I rolled a 1 on both of them.
Nicely done. The arrow hits in her eye. You think for a moment her other eye kind of glazes as if it's enough to kill her, but it's just not quite, and she snaps out of it, pulls the arrow out, the eyeball comes with it, she roars. She's swatting all around, can't see very well, but she has not fallen over.
God damn it. And let's see, I'm not going to get out
That's
of
a
my
second
tree.
wind right there.
I'll stay here.
Nice.
All right. All right, that brings us back to the top of the round, and Mr. Greybeard is up. You see a frenzied, extremely wounded ogre to your right. One not so hurt above you.
In the back of my the back of Greybeard's subconscious, hence the player is like, not stealing this kill. Ian.
15 would strike.
I was really hoping you'd miss.
Yeah. So which one were you attacking?
The one I've been attacking the whole time.
Yeah. So yeah, you can describe that one. So she goes down.
So she pulls out her own eye and flings the arrow, and she's kind of thrashed it around, and GB is like, oh, as she comes, she kind of leans her head in, and GB's like, bam, right through the eye socket that's empty, right into her pea-sized ogre brain, and then he pulls it back out as she lumps backwards, and then he turns his attention to her buddy here.
Yeah, she even falls and hits the ground. Yep, 17 would hit.
All right.
Big damage, nicely done.
And now, because I don't have to use my bonus action to rage anymore, because I'm already raged, I'm going to go all frenzy.
So as a bonus action?
Yep.
So 28 would hit. And 19, that one goes down also. You can describe it.
Snap. 2 for 1. Double kill.
All right, yep. Ogre falls over. Axe wound in the forehead. All right, any movement?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Nice. Right to there.
All right. That will bring us back around the order to Coffee. You're up. You got 2 ogres sitting next to you. You see Greybeard running up, but so far, Bladesong is held out.
All right, 2. I'm attacking the one on the south, bottom one.
Okay. 17 would strike. Yeah, and you hear a whisper as it sinks in, and you just hear the word, a female voice, very similar to Ian's voice, say, yes.
Indeed, I sink it in again.
Yeah. 14 is a hit. 8 more points. And you just get an emotion of satisfaction is not the word I want. What I want is more of like contentment as it sinks in. So it's more of an emotion than it is words in your head this time, as the second one hits and lands
nice. True. Then with my offhand will come the final attack. And miss horribly.
Yeah. Almost dropping. What is in the... Oh, that's your other sword, right? Your other short sword?
Yeah, that's my...
Yeah. In fact, when you hit, you feel like a weird vibration on the offhand. You nearly lose it, but you don't quite. And it just kind of skitters off the hard bone and skin of the ogre. All right. Any movement?
No, I will stay engaged.
All right. Ogres not doing so well are going to try to attack. So yeah, they're still going to try to attack. They're going to try to attack Coffee. So first one, the southern one that you've sunk your blade into, great club swing at you for a 23.
I will have to burn a shield.
All right, so remember, go ahead and describe it again for us so that those in the chat remember or can hear what that looks like. So the great club's about to hit you almost straight down.
And basically it would catch Coffee almost flush and a little kind of shimmering white shimmer, almost translucent shield that kind of conforms to Coffee's head, about 5 or 6 inches up, deflects it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see the ogre's frustrated as it thought it had you that time. It really thought it was going to get a good swing in and misses. Second one tries to swing at you while you're occupied. 22.
That is a hit.
All right, 9 bludgeoning damage as your shield absorbs the first, but the second one comes in from an odd angle and strikes you. Must have rolled pretty low on that damage. Oh yeah, 3 into 2. All right. Mr. Ogre here will disengage and is going to try to run away from the giant. So it's going to get that far. Begins to run. Wants nothing to do with Harshnag at all. Harshnag's up.
Throw the axe. Throw the axe. It would be epic.
Can you get there and not have to... What would that be? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 would not be close enough. Actually, I think the ogres are faster than Harshnag. Is that possible? No, they're both the same. They can move 40 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, you can't outrun them. So Harshnag charges after, moves past Finn, and then swings. As you hear him. You hear him kind of bellow out. Time to feed Gert as the axe swings for 23 slashing damage and annihilates the ogre. Cuts it in 2 as it falls quivering to the ground. And that is Harshnag's turn.
Dude rolled an 11. Turned into a 30.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to Finn. Mr. Finn is up. I gotta remember to change my overlay. I always forget that.
Nod is going to dash past this ogre.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna do like the charge?
He's going to end up there.
Yeah. All right. So the lance cups out, I'm guessing?
Yep.
All right.
We'll take a passing shot.
Yeah, 23 would strike, so for 11. Nearly able to topple the ogre. Wounds all over. Nearing death. Coughing up blood. Missing several fingers on a hand. Giant gashes in both areas, but still not falling over quite yet. So that's movement. That was attack with the lance. Do you get 2 lance shots, though?
Not if we're doing it like that. We talked about that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. But we gave you, like, bonus damage or something, didn't we?
I don't think we gave bonus damage on that.
Oh.
I mean, I'll take bonus damage if you want to give it to me, but...
I'll let Ian kill steal this one from you. So
go ahead and let her do
Ian's
that. I'm going
turn.
to look it up. I'm going to see if I can find that article we came
Yeah,
up with.
because we wrote it down, I thought.
All right, I move my hunter's mark over to the not. Are they both alive?
2 of them are alive. The southern one looks gravely wounded. The other one, not as bad. Maybe only has a single wound, but the southern one has many wounds on it right now.
Okay, so I throw my hunter's mark up on the not really almost dead one.
Okay.
So soon to be. And I shoot the hurt one. The like dying one. Like death's door way.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I assume that misses.
Nope. 11 hits.
Oh shit! I hit it for 6.
Yeah, just enough. 1 point. It was at 5, so it's at a 6. So you can describe how you barely sink your arrow enough to kill this ogre.
So this poor ogre is just being thrashed side to side, like still probably a little bit electrified, and just goes boo, boo, and then as he's coming back, I just shoot him just enough in the shoulder that he can no longer stand up. You see the light just leave him, and he crumples to the ground. As over his other shoulder, you see another arrow go towards the other ogre.
Okay.
That's the most humane kill I think I've ever seen Ian perform.
It's more of like, just sleep now.
Yeah. You'd have up there with a pillow and covered that poor ogre's face. Just as heartwarming.
There's a tear in her eye as she does it.
And I shoot the other guy for
Yeah.
16.
Okay. Arrow
go to
sinks
sleep.
true.
I know. I just do it. Sorry.
All right. Anything else for Ian?
Nope.
All right, Mr. Greybeard, Dwarven Raging Barbarian. Ogre bodies laying all over. The forest floor is now covered in ogre blood. One still roars in defiance.
I take a 5-foot step. Oh, from earlier editions. Sorry. And it's, go all Lorax here.
Yeah. That's enough to describe it.
All right. That the one just kind of lays down, and I'm disappointed. I'm over it with the axe, and then the other one's still standing there, and I let him have it, and it's just kind of a chest thing, and he looks down like, huh, and then keels over, and I pull my axe out as he tumbles backwards.
Nice. With that falling shot, the forest grows quiet, and you hear just the heavy breathing of a raging dwarf and a chuckle from Harshnag as he cleans his axe. And we are no longer in initiative turn. Good job. Clearly, ogres are no match for Storm King's Thunder Team Alpha.
We really should have kept one alive.
Yeah.
As I heal myself for the 20-point shot that I took.
They had to at least get one hit in.
Not on the guy with a 25 AC. It's not how this game works.
I jumped out and I head over to the party, picking up my arrows as I go. I shake off the one with the
Yeah,
eye
you
on
get
it,
you get
just if it's useful.
you get half your arrows back. Anything that was thrown, you get half of that ammunition back. All right. Harshnag is
dead
cleaning his
bodies.
axe. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So Finn or Coffee, you start searching bodies.
Yeah.
What you find
Greybeard, too.
is they have several sacks on them, and they're filled with it looks like game that they have captured, but is old and rotting at this point. You kind of look at it and you'd be like, you wouldn't eat any of that, but for an ogre, they have no problem eating deer and elk and whatever else they can get their hands on. But on the one that was a little bit larger, he has a sack in him, and the sack is actually moving when you get over to it, Coffee. As you're looking at this ogre, there's movement in the sack.
Is it bound with like a rope or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like on a belt, and it's got a leather thong kind of thing tied to his belt, so it looks like it's closed. And
All right, I'm gonna slide my sword into the belt loop, not into the bag,
okay,
and I'm gonna cut that thing.
yeah. So the belt, you're able to slide the belt in half or cut it in half, and he's laying on the ground, so it's like it's just the sack is now lying next to the ogre. See a little bit of movement in the bag, but you're not. I'm assuming you haven't opened the bag yet.
I have not. I'm gonna motion to everyone that we've got something alive.
All right. I stand over it with my axe.
Yeah, Harshnag comes over.
I'll open the bag. Jeez.
And it's a fire giant jumps out. No, I'm just kidding.
Cockatrice.
Yeah.
Pow!
It's a bag
Finn
of
was
holding, and like an
decapitated.
army just starts pouring out of it.
That'd be awesome.
No, what you find is a bound gnome wearing what appears to be forest leathers. Has a gag. Hands are bound. Feet are bound. And kind of starts blinking as you open the bag, Finn. And then he looks up at you in your pretty gnarly armor. Eyes kind of go wide open. He kind of looks around. Then he sees Coffee, and he you see relief as he then begins to see, a dwarf, an elf, and then when his eyes land on Harshnag, they go super excited again as far as fear a little bit.
Calm down, friend. I think you're safe now.
He kind of looks at you and your voice, and he also realizes there's a lion standing over him too, and he doesn't move. He's like giving you this hand push of, okay, I'm listening. Don't eat me, Mr. Lion.
I think you're scaring him, Finn.
I'll reach down and undo his gag.
Yeah, and you can see fear in his eyes. He's trying to size you up. The group is a very eclectic group, so he kind of looks to you, Coffee, and he kind of says, "Thank you," and then unless you're going to eat me.
You're quite welcome. We will not eat you.
Yeah,
we
you
are
see,
the 5.
you see
We are the
relief.
4.5.
Wait, is that an option?
Yeah, he looks at the lion again. He's just like, "What have I gotten myself into?"
And then to add to the good nature, Greybeard says, "Well, he is the only fresh meat in any of these bags." But he does it with a big toothy grin.
And then, yeah, he's looking at you, and he kind of looks over your shoulder, and he looks up at the giant, and he's like, "Wait, is that Harshnag, the hero?" And his eyes light up with excitement as he seems to recognize Harshnag. Harshnag has a look on his face that doesn't seem to recognize the gnome, but it seems like this gnome may have heard of stories or something.
Yeah.
And he's excited. He's kind of holding his hands out to try to get his hands loosened to Coffee.
I'll cut the bounds on his hands and his legs.
Yeah, he's rubbing them, and you
Help
can
him
see
up.
that there's he looks a little dehydrated. You can see that there's quite a bit of rope burn marks on his his wrists. It looks like he's been struggling for quite a while. So it's light wounding and abrasion to the skin. He seems definitely relieved now that you guys have. And he kind of shakes you, puts his little hand out to you, and goes to shake your hand, and he says, "Gran, Tree Walker." And how did you come across these ogres? How did you find me? What happened? And he's looking at the dead bodies of the ogres as he stares at the campsite.
Greybeard grabs one of the lucky charm necklaces that he has on his neck, and he's like, "Must be your lucky day," and proceeds to walk away.
We happened upon them in the forest and figured they were up to no good. And clearly they were not up to any good.
Yeah, and
So
he
we
says,
saved you.
the gods were looking over me. I can't believe that I haven't been eaten by these things. And,
How long have they had you captive?
And he kind of thinks about it, and he's like, I've been in that sack, I feel like, for several days. I mean, I was in southern end of the forest. I'm a forester, and we were cutting trees down for lumber. They attacked a group that I was with, and I was captured. I have no idea what happened to the rest.
Do you speak giant?
No, he does not. He shakes his head no.
Did they say anything in common over the course of the last few days while you were captive?
He said, yeah, on the first day, he heard them talking to something else. He was in the bag at this point. He says, I was in the bag, and they were talking and sounded like they were negotiating, trading for food. They were hungry. And it was something with a real guttural voice, had a real heavy accent. It had to have been goblins of some sort. But I couldn't see. I couldn't tell for sure. But that was, I feel like, at least a day ago.
Did the ground shake?
Not that I can remember. I don't think so.
Does the name... what was his name? Gob? That the ogre said?
Gob or go?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I kept hearing a word. It must have been a giant word. Maybe, let me find that name again. I think it's Guh, but let me verify.
Guh. What kind of name is Guh?
That would be a...
Spell that.
You know?
Lady Gaga.
G-U-H? Guh?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it is G-U-H.
Duh.
Where is it?
What would we call this child?
Yeah, it is G-U-H.
Is it really?
Perfect.
Alright.
Sold on Guh.
G-U-H. Guh. And he's like, yeah, I heard that word a couple times. Guh. But he doesn't know what it meant.
Well, do the giant speaker people that are with us, I mean, is it a giant word or is it obviously some kind of name?
It is not a word. Yeah, it is not a giant word.
No, it's a name.
Ian or
They said it earlier.
Harshnag.
Do you recognize a Harshnag? Have you heard about this in this area?
Yeah, he's actually, yeah, he thinks about it. He's like, there actually might be a chief, a hill giant chief named Guh.
Oh. Well then. It seems like they are causing trouble in this area. Where were you and your people, Gnome? Before you were attacked and taken?
We had just entered the Lurkwood. We couldn't have been more than half a mile in, felling trees that we were going to use to bring back for and sell down at Mirabar. Or, I'm sorry, where's my map? Let me get the right town for you. They were from Longsaddle. So yeah, he's from Longsaddle.
Longsaddle. And these ogres were lost, so we don't have much of a direction to go if we desire to attempt to save these gnomes. Were you all gnomes? Was it a gnome party? Was it several of you?
No, I was accompanying some of the, mostly were men from the Longsaddle. They bring in, we sell different styles of wood to lots of the merchants, and they either take them further south or they use them there for creating the beams for different buildings and such.
Have you heard of others disappearing in this area, being attacked?
Well, we're always on the lookout, but usually it's the barbarians we have to worry about, the savages, but not. We haven't seen too many ogres in the Lurkwood.
But you have no idea where Guh is.
No, I had never heard that before till recently.
It's an amazing name. I love it.
All right.
So
Options. I mean, we either search for trails of Go or we move on.
well, we have to do something with this guy, this gnome. We can't let him go off alone.
He's a woodsman, yes?
Yeah, he gives you a nod. And he's like, "Well, if I could have a weapon, I mean, we got surprised. That was the only way they got me. But I'll be careful on my way back. They'll not find me in these woods."
I dig around in my pack, and I give him. How's about three javelins, a dented steel shield, and a hand axe.
So
Luxury.
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is too much. You've saved my life, and you're giving me this stuff." And he's like, the hand axe is the thing that he looks at the most and is like, sturdy, looks good, well made.
But you know how to use a shield?
He says, "If it's gonna get me home alive, I can learn."
All
I approve.
right, I hand him the stuff. Oh, and some food.
Yeah.
I'll give him like 5 days food. I kind of say
Yeah.
that.
Let's move you guys back to the map so you can kind of see.
We're traveling north. I mean, it's not as if we couldn't take an extra with us, but you have to know that it's going to be incredibly dangerous.
He's like, "No, I'm going to go back to where the site was to see if any of the woodmen are still alive, and if not, I'm going to have to go to Long Saddle and let them know what's happened." And yeah, that's a 2 days. You guys are 2 days north of where he's kind of telling you where he was captured, and then he's got another. From there, he's got another 4 days travel back.
So those goblins or those ogres actually came almost straight north from where they captured them, as we're looking at our map.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it wouldn't kill us to keep traveling north on that line. Yeah. If we find Ga,
Yeah.
we release the rest of the ones, and if not, we're going north anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let's see, what would be useful? What kind of tracks would be useful to look for or keep an eye out for? Because ogres aren't humanoids, or giants, right?
Ogres are giants. They are large giant. Yep, so they're under the giant.
So I can use Primeval Awareness to try and find.
Within 5 miles, right?
Yeah, within 5 miles of me in the radius.
Yeah. Yep,
So I
they would
can use
count.
that.
Yep, they would count.
So I will, every few miles or so, I'll cast that. Oh, I mean, I'll cast it now. I use it now just to make sure they don't
Yeah.
ping.
So you have to take, what does it say? You have to take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to, I think it says you got to take a second to attune
Let's
yourself or something. Or you can put it in
well.
chat so that our watchers can take a look.
Here you go. Primeval Awareness. Activate. There you go. I think it's a minute.
Oh, just a minute. Yeah. And you have more than one favorite enemy, right? So you would actually pick up either one of them.
Yeah, humanoid or giant.
Yeah, so within a 5 mile radius, no, you don't pick up anybody else currently. You feel the presence of Harshnag next to you, but also your awareness picks him up, and then your group. You pick up the gnome, but you're not picking up any other
Humanoids or
humanoid
giants.
or giants within 5 miles currently.
Alright, so I will, as we travel about every mile and a half or so, 2 miles, every 2 miles I'd say, I I stop and I do a Primeval Awareness, see if I can get a ping off on anything.
Okay. I'm gonna let you do that, but I'm gonna slow your rate down if you're gonna stop. So instead of, like, I've been giving you guys 21 miles as a normal even through the woods, but I'll probably only give you about 18.
For a minute?
Well, it's a minute every... How many miles did you say each time you wanted to do it?
About 2.
Oh, you're only going to do it twice.
Well, it's, I mean, if it's going to take that long, I'll do it every 5 miles.
Yeah, then I won't slow you down. Yeah, if you're going to do it... Because you get about 21, so 5, that'd be 4 times you'd want to stop and try to align yourself. Is that what you're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll give you 20 miles, so you'll get 20 miles more. Okay. So not much off your pace. It's going to be a little bit, though. It's got to be something to slow you down a tiny bit.
Well, and every time we stop, and she's doing her thing, everybody's going to kind of get off the horses and grab a bite to eat or whatever.
Yeah, so
we're gonna need those breaks anyway.
Yep.
Sure. Throw a clot riding on a saddle all day.
Now, are you guys just continuing on, no break, or what?
I don't know. We got the Ian breaks.
Yeah, but those aren't get hit points back breaks, or I don't think any of you are
short
hurting,
rest
but
time.
Short rest is an hour.
Hour for lunch.
Sounds good.
Hour for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
I'll go hunt. It should be pretty quick in the forest, so we don't waste our rations.
Yeah, okay, so you can do a survival check. No.
I guess.
Should be a pretty easy. Yeah. 10 is about what you need. It's not too difficult to find game in the Lurkwood. So yeah, you're able to find enough rations for you're able to capture enough so that people don't have to use their rations when you make your next break. We'll move you guys. We'll move you up. Yeah, you're going to go through the rest of the day. It's uneventful. The gnome, Gran, he did I tell you his name?
Yep.
Yeah. So Gran begins to head south. And actually you can tell he's quite stealthy when he gets going. So he's not more than a couple, maybe 10, 20 yards, and he disappears into the woods. He's obviously knows how to stealth. He must have gotten surprised as he begins to head back south with a wave and a smile, chomping on some of the food that you gave him. It looked like he hadn't eaten in a while either, so he's definitely eating as he goes. Waves farewell to you. You guys make another... and then you get your break, so everybody gets their rest back, so you get your spell slots back for those of you that get them. You can spend hit dice if you wish for your rest, and then Ian, you probably pick up at about the second time there's a couple of humans to the west of you, but it's right at the edge of your 5-mile radius. You feel like you're aware of a couple of humans.
Okay, so I tell the group during our break.
It's probably, it's like that way.
That about right on the edge of my consciousness, right on the edge of my perception, I feel some humans. No giants yet, but if we wish, I mean, we have to go a little bit to the west anyways before we hit our location. So we can head a little bit west and then north from there.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, so you're gonna head towards the humans.
Yep.
Well, and it's happening just as you are kind of looking for camp for the evening. So do you want to travel while it's gotten fairly dark here in the Lurkwood as the sun has gone down? Or...
Nah, we'll do it in the morning.
Okay, so you set up normal camp. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so uneventful night. You lose track. You lose awareness of them. At some point, like when you check, like during your watch, I would guess, you don't pick up humans anymore within 5 miles of you. You don't pick up any giants within 5 miles of you.
Okay.
And then it's morning, and you guys are breaking camp.
Yeah. I tell them I lost them for a bit, but let's see if we can pick them back up.
Okay, so which direction do you start heading off into?
West.
Okay, and how far do you go?
I think we travel the whole day until we're about straight from.
Okay, yeah, you'll get
it's like sort of a
to
shot.
right about there. All right, you travel the whole day, and you did not pick up humans, and you did not pick up giants. On your Primeval Awareness ability, nothing within 5 miles, humanoid or giant, throughout the whole day.
Okay. Well, and I just let them know. I never picked anybody back up.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
guys want to search some more, we can do so, but we're about...
You are far better in the woods than we are.
So if you would like to continue looking, we can continue looking, or we can head to our destination. It's about 50, 60 miles away.
Let's head to destination.
Okay. You guys travel throughout the day heading north. You get to the river probably with maybe an hour's travel time normal. You'd probably have another hour. Do you guys want to cross now, try to get the rest of the hour of travel, or do you want to make camp on this side of the river as you break out of the Lurkwood? All of this has snow on the ground at this point. It's probably only just an inch or two. It's nothing too drastic. The river's quite cold.
I'd camp. I don't want to cross it right before night.
I've never been this far north. Elves don't come this way, so I'll look to Harshnag for guidance.
I would say the woods would be nice just to break the wind before we head up north.
All right, so maybe stay right here before you actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably roughly. Yeah, it's only the forest edge is about a mile or two from the river. You can easily just track back a little bit and be right in the woods for the night. All right. So you have another uneventful night, and during the as you guys are setting up camp and you're lighting your fire, Harshnag mentions we're definitely getting close. It's been a while since I've been here, but we should be able to pick up the correct path once we get into the valley. But keep your eyes open. It's definitely going to be more dangerous the further north we go. And he kind of looks to you, Ian, because he knows you're ranging forward when he says that.
All right. Well, you have to stay careful.
All right. So the night goes by uneventful. Nothing happens. I did all these rolls earlier today is why we got through most of this stuff, so it's nice.
Okay.
That is
You guys
nice.
are able to cross the river, and you are now in the valley of Kidron. So what you're seeing here in the valley, basically Frozen Vale, southern fringe of the spine of the world. Actually, Greybeard might know this, that the Valley of Kidron is actually named after a legendary dwarf hero who
nice.
used his axe to carve out the homeland of the dwarves in the north from the lands dark with wolves and orcs and goblinoids. Valley of Kidron is, you kind of know that right now. You say it probably in a snarl that it's been infested by all kinds of human barbarians at this point. And Harshnag kind of nods and says, "Yeah, this will be the lands of the Great Worm tribe that we'll cross. So keep your eyes out, or keep your eyes open." He says once again, cautioning you. All right, and so Ian, you travel throughout the day, and again, you're probably about here when you're stopping for your Primeval Awareness, and you pick up to, you think, the north, maybe slightly northwest. You're picking up giants.
Several giants?
You are picking up 3. Does it tell you the exact number? I think it does.
I believe so.
Yeah, they're numbers. That's right. And actually, you've come across their tracks, and your awareness has picked it up a little bit too. And it wasn't like, I wouldn't say let me say that, not tracks. You pick up signs that something large had moved through here, which kind of made you decide to use your Primeval Awareness. And that's when you picked up that it seems like within 4, maybe 5 miles north, maybe northwest, you're picking up 3 giants.
And is that in the direction we have to go?
That is kind of the direction you've been heading.
I look to Harshnag and I say, is this a frequent spot for giants where we are traveling to?
And he says, there are some that come through here. And he says, not many know where the Allfather is. There's only a few of us that are left that even know of the Allfather, Eye of the Allfather anymore. But it's possible others have come to the Oracle, especially since the ordning is broken. Many could be looking for answers.
I detect 3 giants in the direction we are traveling to.
And he looks at you and he's like, what kind of giants? What tribe?
It's a great question. I have seen their tracks. I have seen signs of them, maybe a footprint or 2, but I cannot, it is not within my ability to tell you what they are exactly.
Yeah, he kind of thinks a moment. He's like, it's still a pretty good ability. I would not want you as my enemy. Were you able to track me from miles away? And he gives you a look.
Cheers.
So he's like, oh, so you do have a weakness. Good to know.
Yeah, rocks.
And he just chuckles. Yeah, it's like a giant joke, a dry, humored giant joke.
All right, so I keep a lookout because I know giants are different sizes. Like some are smaller, some are just larger. I keep a lookout for their tracks to see if I can get a gauge of how large they are. If they're a small, puny hill giant or like a heavy fire giant. Yeah. See if I can pick up a good one.
Okay. So yeah, as you begin to continue to travel, you're kind of narrowing it in, and it does look like they're basically, maybe I'll freehand it just a second. So and you kind of have to begin to follow this route. It's like there's giant mountains here that are forcing you along a certain way. I mean, it would just be too much to try to climb up any of these cliffs at this point. And you see signs of giants, definitely not hill giants, definitely not ogre size. These are, I mean, similar to Harshnag's tracks, similar to fire giant tracks, similar to, the other giants that you've seen, definitely the full size guys. But you're not really seeing their tracks so much as something that's been moved out of place, or more like signs than their actual tracks. What you are noticing is you're not seeing their tracks. There's not like clear foot marks. So you're not even quite sure when the last time they came through here. As you kind of move northwest.
And they haven't moved, correct?
Well,
As I check.
yeah. When do you
Awareness.
check and how? Yeah, yeah. You gotta tell me that first.
Probably.
How
I mean,
far
I
do you
don't
go
wanna-
before you check again?
Yeah, I don't want to bump into them. So maybe like every 2 miles now.
Okay, so within 2 miles, you go to Primeval Awareness again, and you take a moment, and it's stronger. They're within 3 miles now of you. It seems to be in the same direction. I mean, I don't know if it would tell you exactly general direction and distance. It seems like it's getting shorter, so if they are moving, they're not moving fast, but you're not sure. It's still the same general direction, 3 miles ahead.
Okay. So at about a mile, I'll stop us and I'll be like, all right.
Yeah. So Primeval Awareness goes again. Everybody kind of sinks down. Now, there's not a lot of cover now that you're in the mountains here, but you're kind of making your way through this valley in between these giant peaks, and they rise up. This is like watching The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, you know, the mountains they were going through that are on either side of you that are just thousands of feet into the sky. I mean, it's a very awe-inspiring landscape. Wind is blowing, snow is swirling. Not a ton of cover, but you use what you can as you go. And yeah, you pick them up, and they're still a mile directly northwest of you guys. I'll move your marker a little bit, so we'll move it slightly.
And we're right, like the place we're going to is right there, right?
Yeah. Harshnag recognizes this as the path that we need to take, and you're heading in the right direction. It's a path that leads between these peaks that you have to kind of go through, so you're heading the right way. So he's kind of encouraging you to say, yeah, this is the way we need to go. It's obvious maybe they're in our way or heading that same way, or they're on this same kind of path between these mountains, whoever they are.
So
and you pick them up. They're a mile ahead.
So let's be cautious as we approach. Try to be as quiet as possible as we come up upon these giants. We don't know if they're a friend or foe, though I'm inclined to believe they are foe. But obviously there is not evil ones that exist out there.
We could ask Nod to run forward and look. He's white. He's going to blend in.
Oh shit, do it, Nod. Get it.
All right, yeah, I'll jump off Nod. Just ask him to run up maybe to the next ridge and peek over.
Yeah, so he runs up about he's about a half mile, and you have a telepathic link with him, right? So you can. It's not like you're seeing through him. You're just hearing him, right? Yeah. So he tells you. He gets about a mile and a half up, and he gives you running commentary about it's kind of cold, his feet are wet. And then he says...
Half mile might be a bit of a stretch for what he can do telepathically.
Oh. All right, so yeah, he goes up to his range and says, I don't see anything yet.
So we can move up.
Run up, and then come back and report.
Yeah. So he goes a half mile and he hasn't seen anything yet.
Do we want to move up?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys move half mile up. Yeah, your Primeval Awareness is telling you giants within a half mile, 3 of them. Same direction.
Oh, I lied. Steed is within 1 mile. I can communicate with it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he runs up half mile, 3/4 of a mile, and then he says he mentions to you that he sees he says he tells you in his voice, and you can do it yourself. He sees a hand.
What do you mean a hand?
He's like, I'm looking at a hand.
I'll look to Harshnag. He sees a hand. What's that? What is that?
And Harshnag looks, and he's like, "Oh, we might be close. There might be a statue up ahead."
Of a hand? also
Yeah,
an
he
odd
kind of mentions that these mountains are filled with old ruins of, kingdoms that have risen and fallen. You can find all kinds of stuff, depending on where you look. It's possible that's where what Nod is seeing.
So there's no rest of the statue. It's just a hand in the mountain.
Yeah, Nod just says it's a hand.
And no giants.
He's like, you should come see it.
Can you smell them?
He can make a check.
He does have that keen smell.
Yeah, which I think gives him something, right?
Advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell.
Yeah. So he can try that.
Do it. Come on, Nod, I believe.
15?
15. Let me make sure. I want to do a roll here, but yeah, that's okay. So let's see.
I don't smell any stinky giants. Don't tell Harshnag that.
No, the wind is blowing down the ravine here, and yeah, he can smell them. Says, yeah, there's giants up there. He doesn't see them though.
I'm gonna guess that giants don't smell different. Fire giants, frost giants, hill giants.
If you'd got a higher roll, maybe.
Okay.
But I think Nod just thinks giant.
All right.
Yeah. And it might even be he might even just be I can smell a living creature up there. He may not even know. He may have never smelled these before.
We'll come to you, Nod. Stay put. Okay.
All right. So let me put you guys. Who's the one that goes up to see just everybody at once, or is somebody scouting, or what's happening?
Finn is not very sneaky, so if you guys want to scout,
Yeah.
go.
It's well, we'll creep up. If you want, I'll go ahead, but at this point, I don't think it really matters.
So is Ian still like feeling the giant?
Yeah. Yeah. When she last stopped, yes.
All right, I will say hold up. And I will cast invisibility
Stop
on
what you're doing,
Ian.
because I'm about to ruin. Nope, sorry. Keep
The
going.
kind of visual that you're used to.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast invisibility on Ian so that she can scout
Oh, okay.
stealthily like.
Not the best out there, but I'll try. All right.
Should be much easier with invisibility.
I'll move everybody there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off everybody's sight for a minute until you actually get there. So I'm just going to say on your tokens you don't have sight for a second, and I can turn that back on. I'll give Ian sight. And then she can report what she sees.
Bad things.
Run away.
It's an army of the dead.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Turn the corner. I can
I
only
can.
feel humans and giants. It could be honestly anything.
Right.
All right. Here you go.
Dire were
Ian.
crocodiles.
I'm going to put you down at the bottom here to start with.
God forbid a bunch of vultures.
I'll put your teammates are down at the bottom of this map, but they can't see anything yet, I think.
There we are. I can see the whole map. So you are where? I don't know what's on it.
Oh, is it
I can see the map though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can see the full map.
shouldn't be any lighting or anything. Yeah, you should be able to see the full map.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was going to be a thing. All right. So I'm invisible,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I stealth forward.
Yeah,
Or
so
I
you can
attempt to, at
see.
least.
Yeah, so you can see what's up ahead there, right?
I see a hand. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you see what you see right now.
All right, so I will stealth ahead. How much do you want me to move per?
How close are you gonna get to the statue?
Well, I mean, Nod saw the hand. Oh, do I see Nod? Oh, is he back with Finn?
Yeah. No, Nod would be probably Nod had stopped probably about maybe like he's like near these rocks maybe.
Next to us? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Down to the bottom
Okay.
right of you.
All right. So,
I'll just move these guys out of the way a second.
So I will creep up, making sure to keep something on to one side. Like, are these tall? These rock formations?
Yeah. So what you see is the hand is definitely gigantic. It's on an arm that's it looks buried. You see some type of round divots in the ground all around it. You see the other thing you notice too as you're going is that you're leaving a trail behind you as you walk in the snow.
Oh shit, you're right. Then I will make sure to divert over here,
Okay.
and I will walk along this wall.
Okay.
Where my
Yeah, so go ahead and give me, probably about at that range. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
my passive perception pick up anything?
Yeah, actually your passive's really good though, isn't it?
It's like 20 something, 22.
Yeah.
It resets,
Yeah.
so I don't know what it is yet.
Let me think about when we use that. Why wouldn't you just always use that and never use regular perception?
I think you
Because
think
the one's a
that's-
roll.
Yeah, I think you do use it unless you're actively looking for something.
So are you
Yes.
actively looking, PB? That's
Put
the
that
metagame?
blindfold on and do
Metagame.
it.
I'll say you've got a pretty good. And is that perception, your passive perception, only visual, or is it? Because that's an ability you get with the ranger, right? Or no, it was a feat.
Mm-hmm.
What did it say? What type of perception? Because you don't have that
It's-
for like smell. do
I
you?
thought passive perception was you rolling against us, Dan. Like if we're going down a street, and you roll that passive perception, and we might notice something. Otherwise, she's actively looking right now, so she should use her highest perception roll.
And technically, one of the things that people always forget is passive gets modified by movement, by lighting, and then like stuff like fog and obscurement.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're not seeing anything.
Just passively.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't see anything actively either.
No.
So
No.
I'm just gonna. And observant, all it says is quick to notice details of your environment. That's literally.
Yeah,
all it
I
says.
will. Yeah. So right now you've not get anything. Yep, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm good. Keep going.
All right. So I'm going to keep walking along here, places where I think it'll be the least obvious to see my tracks.
Yeah. Okay.
Just keep on creeping until you tell me anything.
Nope.
All right.
And then
Keep on.
right about there is the first time that you notice there are tracks in the snow quite a bit around the disc shapes that you're seeing in the hand. You're seeing tracks from giants, but it's a lot of them. It's a lot of movement around in the area. You don't see them, but you do see a lot of tracks as if they've been walking around all over the spot.
Well, giants aren't terribly stealthy, right? I have to be able to see them before they see me. Well, they won't see me. They'll hear me, maybe.
Yeah, and now roll a stealth check with advantage. I want to see how much noise you're making. Yeah, they're not hearing you. Okay. All right, so right about there, that's good enough that I'm gonna bring them on. So let's do this. You see, hiding within the rocks, you pick up. Or no. Actually, you don't. They don't see you. You don't see them. That's what's happening.
Okay. All right.
This is funny because their stealth roll was good enough to beat your perception. Your stealth roll was good enough to beat their perception.
Ships that passed in the night.
Yeah.
Alright. So I will probably reach about halfway through the hand.
Yeah, you're gonna go up a little more.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up a little bit.
When you go up a little more, you notice in this area signs of digging and excavation.
Near the hand?
Near the top part of the hand. And you notice that this piece up here appears to be some other type of statue-like thing, different than what you see the divots. They appear to be just concave stone. You're not sure without getting closer, but this rises up above the ground differently than the other ones. And then the hand is there, which appears to go down into the ground, and you see excavation in, maybe I'll just draw it out, freehand. Let's grab maybe some brown. So like maybe just all in this area. Oh, it wasn't very big, was it? Large. Try that again. There's obviously been digging going on in this this area here. I guess I'll just do this. You're seeing it?
I don't think we have visibility on that layer.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Oh, you're right. Good call. Let me get rid of that. That's why it's so not right.
I was just like, let me zoom in. Let me zoom in the hands. Yeah, that's why I can't see anything.
How about that?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so you see signs of excavation, moving of ground and dirt and rocks.
So I will just approach very slowly over here. And just like take a nice gander, make sure that nothing is.
Yeah, you are absolutely sure they are here.
Uh-huh.
You're just not seeing where they're hiding.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I will retrace my steps back.
Okay.
And I will head back to my party.
Okay.
And I'll go this way. And I will pop in behind Nod. And I'll just start talking at a normal voice, still invisible. And I'll be like, so, I know they're over there. There are signs of everything there. There are tracks, not well hidden. There's been excavation. They all seem extremely fresh. I know they are there, but I do not know where they are. It seems they are either hiding or they have found some shelter that I'm not aware of. I did not want to get more ahead of you guys. So I would say it's a fairly flat surface with rocks everywhere. I have a feeling that this could either be an ambush or they are asleep. But during this time of day, I find that very hard to believe. So I propose we come up with some sort of diversion, some tactics, something that will catch their attention, get them out of hiding, and then we attack. Or maybe one of you will see something that I did not.
You lost me at there's a bunch of giants up ahead. If you're gonna have me relay that kind of stuff, I need smaller chunks of information.
Yes.
rocking the 6 int, score. So
Oh,
He's like,
Oh.
I got the first 3 words.
But he will piece
What?
that back to the group.
I
And
just
all
scrubbed his-
no, it's like
As
the
best
phone
he can.
conversation. It's the phone game, so he's got it all wrong. He's like, there's 7 million giants ahead.
They're
I'm like-
digging like crazy. There's a giant hand, and again, giants, invisible giants.
I will scruff his head and I'll be like, okay, there are giants. I cannot see them.
There are giants. She can't see them.
They probably
Invisible
can't see
giant.
me.
They can't see her, so they're hidden
They-
too, right? That's what that means. Yes. All right.
Yeah, they're hidden. They did not see me. So I think they're ambushing us or sleeping.
They are ambushing us, or they are sleeping.
So
You should have said and sleeping
answer, yeah.
to get it
So
wrong.
So we can move up. They don't seem terribly perceptive. And we can create a surprise for them. Or we just walk in there like idiots.
It makes a perception roll on your detailed assessment of this situation. He tells Finn that it's clearly very dangerous, but you're gonna have to come up here and look for yourself.
Good boy.
And he runs back to Finn.
I'm waiting for him to say, that girl crazy.
Crack, crack.
She cray. She's seeing things.
Seeing things or not seeing anything, really.
Yeah, and Finn picks up the smell of them, and he knows they're to the north. But like, yeah, he's kind of relaying the same thing to you, Finn. He doesn't see them.
But they're certainly here.
And I put all you guys on the map now, so you can kind of creep up, and you're hopefully you can see the map. You guys can look around on the map.
Harshnag, have you been to the Oracle ever?
I have not journeyed into the Eye of the Allfather, though I do know its location. It has been many years,
So the giant
more than
hand
100.
with the discs around it is not what
No,
we're
this
actually here
is
for.
this is not the Eye of the Allfather.
Oh.
Well, if they're digging, could it be fire giants looking for more pieces of that crazy, gigantic mecha Godzilla golem they're going to build? I mean, I'm looking to Harshnag for that.
It's certainly, I mean, yeah, he doesn't know. It could be anybody. We all we know is they're giants, unless PB can say unless Ian can tell us what types of giants.
Well, how long does that invisibility last for?
An hour.
An hour.
Yep.
Damn.
Now once you guys are kind of moving up, you will be able to make stealth rolls, and you'll be able to make perception rolls to see if you're able to pick up on something Ian did not.
So with my invisibility, I'll just head back. I'll go this way now,
All right.
just to get a better vantage point if something does pop out. I'll get like somewhere around here.
This is the funniest thing. Yeah, so what was Finn, you got to do a stealth roll of some sort if you're moving forward. If not, don't worry about it. Harshnag's sitting back waiting as you guys are scouting a little bit. He's keeping an eye on you. That's awesome. You guys have managed to all roll underneath their stealth roll. You do not see them, but you've all rolled high enough on your stealth rolls. They don't see you. They are hidden, and they don't. You guys are hidden from them.
It's like Sharks and the Jets, and we're gonna turn a corner, and we're just gonna be like gang versus
You
gang.
hear the- yeah, you hear
from
this-
5 feet away.
Marco.
So nothing. So
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until something happens.
I guess we have to make noise.
You don't see anything in the side. You see Greybeard and Coffee. Are seeing disturbances in the snow where there's obviously tracks of some sort. It looks all like it's more around the statue area. It's obvious that they were moving around quite a bit. You don't see the excavation quite yet. You're not close enough. Even though I have it marked on the map, you don't see signs of that yet.
I mean, we gotta do something.
All right, Ian asked for diversion, so I'm going to Blade Song and Haste.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Are any of those is mine concentration? Or is it
Yeah,
just...
yours is gonna drop.
Okay. Just gonna move a little bit back and like duck. I'm gonna hide behind something around here.
This is where we accidentally attack the storm giants.
So I heard Blade and Haste. Let me put that up because it's only a minute, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that happens. Before you do what you're going to do, where do you want Harshnag and... Are you waving him forward? Are you telling him to stay? What are you doing?
I'm not telling him anything.
Okay.
He's just going. He's just doing.
Finn
waiting. He
and
doesn't know.
Harshnag, and we'll move up towards the center, right where Finn's at with Harshnag.
So like right here.
Yeah, get him within 10 feet of me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you guys aren't close enough that you would need... Well, yeah, go ahead and roll stealth for... You rolled an 11?
Yep. Well, I'm riding Nod, so I don't know if you want to take mine or Nod.
They rolled a super low perception. Let me roll Harshnag. Maybe this is the one thing. Let's see if Harshnag screws this up.
Rolls natural 20. Can't wait.
So if his stealth roll is super low, they'll see him. So does he have he does no extra skill in it, so it's just going to be a dex roll then.
Oh,
He
shit.
rolls low. They see him. Yeah. So Harshnag has been spotted. Let's see. I'll have him roll a perception. Oh, why did I close that?
It's perfectly natural for a giant to be here, though, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're evil giants.
Well, then we know.
And his perception is pretty good. Let's see if he gets...
Great,
No, he's
So
not.
is mine.
So they're going to surprise him. Okay. So, Coffee, you're casting your spells. Ian, you're hiding, but you realize your invisibility has dropped. Greybeard, you're pretty far up. Are you trying to hide in these rocks or something? Or
Yep.
okay.
That
And
was my
then,
plan. I rolled a 16 or something on stealth.
What we hear is you hear some voices, and you hear them say... one of them says, "Look, brothers, our dreams have brought us one of the cold ones. Let us show them what we're made of." And you see 3 rocks whistle out towards Harshnag.
Oh, that sucks.
And I will bring them off of where they're at. So let's do this and say you guys are now on the token layer.
Oh, fuck.
And actually, I don't even know how far that is. I mean, it just makes sense. But that
Harshnag just saved me from like a suicidal run. Because I was just going to sprint across there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right.
Those stone giants?
Yeah, when Harshnag recognizes them,
Nice.
yeah, they are stone giants. They have what's interesting about them is they have a really good ability to hide while in stone terrain. So you guys were not able to see them amongst the
Cool.
stone. They look like rocks at that point. But I need those giants here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. We're going to throw some rocks, and then we're going to end on a cliffhanger.
Roll initiative, probably.
All right, so Mr. Stone Giants here, they can throw, disadvantage, though, because it's such a long-range shot. So here come 3 rocks out to Harshnag, disadvantage. 1, 2, 3.
Let's see what their plus to attack is.
All right, so 10. That is good enough to hit once on Harshnag.
Nope, he didn't roll.
So
I
he
guess it's still
takes...
10.
She's going to piss him off.
Objects and tokens. He takes 20 bludgeoning. And you hear the dry voice as the giant laughs at his brothers and says, "Ha, I was the only one to hit him." And the other 2 just kind of look at him, and they're picking up the next rocks to throw. And then what we'll do is everybody can now click on their token and roll initiative.
God fucking damn it, man.
Oh, actually, that was wrong. That was for the stone giants. Let me...
No. It's your second of the night there.
Startling.
You're just like, oh, shit.
I did not expect that to happen.
You just cast all these things, ready to go on a suicide run, and then over your head. You're like,
yeah, that's my initiative is me ducking into the snow.
just hit the ground.
There we go. I'm a 15 though, Dan.
Oh. When are you going to get this right?
I was measuring.
15. That's okay, because I keep closing Harshnag's window, which means I have to go back and find it 8 million times. It's slowing me down.
I need 1 token that combines Nod and Finn together.
You can certainly Photoshop one and send it to me.
I can do that in a heartbeat.
I bet you can.
I will do that. That is within my wheelhouse of Photoshop skills.
All right, so we will end on rolling initiative. Let's see how everybody turned out. Let's do
top of the chart.
descending.
Oh, God, thank God for Harshnag.
Yeah.
Makes me feel better. I'll go with
So
last.
when we come back next week in our... Or, I'm sorry, not next week, which will be Dark Tides. The week after, we will continue this battle as Harshnag and crew Storm King's Thunder Alpha battle 3 stone giants for the first time. There's some cool things to learn about stone giants that we're going to see, so don't miss this next episode. It's going to be cool to see these guys for the first time. And we will lead off with Finn and Nod starting our battle off on a nice big map. Team is a little spread out. We'll see how that works for them. 3 giants can be dangerous. But don't miss it. So I want to thank everybody in chat for joining. I see Glammy out there and Sonic and Spammy's out there watching and listening. I see Greybeard's been typing. Anybody that stopped by and said hi, thanks. I can't really watch the chat when I'm running it, but we will be back again. Let me just say, I'll bring the calendar up just so we know. So next Monday is the 30th. That will be the premiere of Dark Tides from a player perspective on my channel. Then the 6th will be Storm King's Thunder, this game, this moment. The next, if you want to watch the second team, they will be on the on the 2nd Thursday. So Thursday, the 2nd of November, is the Storm King's Thunder Team Omega. 26th of October, this Thursday, 3 days from now, is the Black Door campaign. So as you can see, lots of games, lots of stuff. And if you miss any of it, check it out on YouTube and the VODs. So thanks for joining. Thanks for my players, everybody. You guys did awesome. Whooped on those ogres. It wasn't even anything. And we'll see how it goes. So
it was like 2 or 3 rounds, man. There was
might have been 2 rounds. You guys wrecked them, yeah.
It's pretty harsh.
Big high damage rolls you guys have all got now, so that's pretty good. So all right, and with that, we leave with a whispering voice in Coffee's head, still very similar to Ian's voice, and says, whispers to you with eagerness to battle, as it encourages you to run forward.
I thought if it was in Ian's way, it would say to Silvery Moon.
Yeah. So that's where we'll end, and we will catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye. I'm waving. They can't see. Bye-bye.
You're waving to us.